Aha, my hearties. A very good evening to you. It's just me, Scottie McCLUE, at your service, I say to you. Lovely to be with you, and welcome to our live this Saturday night. 1 hour of superb, scintillating information, education, and entertainment for not just one nation, but for all the nations. I tell you. Now then, who have we got here? Tell 10 to tell 10 to tell 10 that we are live. The Gallus McClue, indeed, yes. We are here and we are Gallus, I say to you. I think that's very, very important, don't you? So there we go. Now, there, just give myself a mop down and see who's coming to join us tonight. We like that. Now, what have I got there? Right, wait a wee minute. I think we could go a bit more that way. Yes, and see if that helps. Does that help a little bit? I tell you, Dinky-Doo from Dumbarton. Is that you in the photo behind you? Yes, that's me in the photo behind. I tell you, well, it's Lord Reith, the Labrador. Do you see Lord Reith there? Some boy, I tell you. Now, who have we got? Mrs. Lannery has joined us. About time too. Lovely to have you back with us, Mrs. Lannery. How amazing is that? Hello, Scottie. How are you? Says the wonderful Kareem. Are you doing calls? Yes, we're doing calls, but not right now, Kareem. We'll do calls once the audience builds up, you see. I tell you, and it does build up quite quickly, and we can get the chit-chat going. Now, who else have we got here? But we're not doing the politics now, Kareem. I've decided that this show needs to be above all of that. So there you go. And we talk about the people. And how people are and how people are reacting and how people are feeling about things. Because I've noticed that every single bit of media virtually is talking about that. Jerry, I think we'll just get rid of you because I can't see any point in you being on here. There we are. That's it. You could go and get maybe something a little bit lighter that would suit your sense of humor. Hello, Susan. How are we? Dinky-Doo? Lovely to have you with us. Were you ever much of a fisherman, Scottie? Never, never, ever, ever at all. But I come from a family, if you go way back, then fishing was their thing. They had their own boats. So there we are. What is the secret revealed in the 33rd degree? Well, wait till we see it's 90 degrees is a right angle. And the square on the right angled triangle, the square and the hypotenuse of the right angled triangle is equal to the sum of the square of the other two sides. So there we are. Fantastic. I tell you. Now there we are. Are you an actor? I have been an actor, Bryden, in my time and may well be again. Dinky-Doo, I tell you, P. Taylor, lovely to have you with us. Yes, indeed. Hello, McClue. Are you behaving yourself? Gordon, I'm so glad you're back with us. Far more importantly, are you behaving yourself? Or do we have to send you down the road? Or as somebody once said, are we getting back to again? Wonderful stuff. There we go. Just give myself a bit of a brush down. Scottie, no politics tonight. Emotional call about the dog. Kareem, why don't you give it 10 minutes and then phone me? So there you are, and we will have a discussion about this. Hello, McClue. Absolutely, yes, indeed. So fantastic stuff. That's what it's all about. If you've just joined us and you're live on the old TikTok, get following. Loved you on Hallam FM, Scottie, in the 90s. Yes, indeed, Stephen. I loved Hallam FM and the good burgers of South Yorkshire. Yes, indeed. How much fun did we actually have on that radio station? It amazes me that radio stations now think they can get by without information, education, and entertainment. I'm saying hello from the US Open. Last time I said hello was from the Euros. I work in TV. So J-Mac, we love you coming on here, working in TV. If you're watching on the YouTube, get subscribing and go and give us a thumbs up. And if you're on the YouTube channel, remember to take in a lot of the movies there as well. Very, very important. Guys, we never asked for anything on here. We are free at the point of delivery, totally. And we're not monetized on the YouTube channel. And certainly not at the moment, so I gain nothing apart from knowing that you guys are getting some quality chat on a Saturday night. How many days till September, says Joradan? Well, Joradan, if we are the 24th of August, then we're going to be another week, and then you're into the 1st of September. I tell you. So I would say 8 days till September. Would I be right, or would I be correct? Tam's just sent me a lovely, lovely big join my team. We love that. That's just beautiful. Now then, Jordan has joined us. Jordan, welcome, welcome. So lovely to have you from the US Open. Thank you for that. All right, Scottie, I hope you're well. Rap, we're absolutely well now that we know that you're well. You see how it works, Rap. Share the live as much as you can, guys. There's lots and lots of videos for you. And if you get onto the YouTube channel, you'll see my favorite choice in movies for you. I've chosen some absolute crackers. What do you think my movies might be? Right? See if you can guess. Scottie, I'm here as well. I'm just saying. Numpty Heed, you must just say. Otherwise, how do we know if you're here? Right? You must say. Good evening, Professor Numpty. It's Susan. So there are how many days until Christmas, says Joraden. Well, let's work it out, Joraden. So what did we say? We're September. We're September in 7 days, and there's 30. So 37 days will take us to October. Another 31, so that's 68, will take us to November. And then another, so 99 will take us to December. And 25 will take us to Christmas. So 124 days till Christmas. Enjoy that. The Day of the Jackal, says JD. Yes, JD, I would love to put that one up. I don't know if I can actually get a hold of it. S says, would you consider yourself superstitious, Scottie? I would consider myself very spiritual. Not necessarily superstitious in that, oh no, I only saw one magpie. Oh, there's two, thank goodness. Although I do a bit of that as well. If you see a single magpie, do you say, your servant, milady? You see? I tell you. So there, we've done that. Joraden, we've done that. How many weeks until Christmas? We've just done it. How many weeks until September? 1 week till September. We've told you that now. So there you go. So that's you. You could have a look at the calendar yourself, you know. I think there are search engines that could help you with that. So there we go. Now, then, what else have we got? Agnes and I are separating. It's a trial for 18 months. Did you not tell me it had been a trial most of your married life? I tell you. There were, what was it Agnes usually does when McClue's on? Does she not go for a bath and leave you to it? Encourage the viewers, says Finlay. Thank you for sharing the lives. Yes, indeed. How many days till the end of the season? Oh, the season's almost over. I would say the season's over in September. So there you go. How many weeks till the Hogmanay Bash, Scottie? Well, we've just done that. We did all up, and we did the 100 and what did we say? 124 days. So another 7 on to that. 131, is that right? There you are. But now, come on, Numpty Heed. You're broadcasting from the home of logarithms. Napier, was it not Napier did the logarithms? I tell you. So there we go. What were you doing this year at Christmas? Well, Jonathan, I was getting ready for Scottie McClue's Hogmanay Bash at the new year. That's very, very important. Hello from Houston. We love you. Now, is that Houston in Lang Bank or Houston in Texas? Because there are two Houstons. Obviously, the Lang Bank one is better known, certainly in Lang Bank. But, you know, what do we know of the other Houston in Texas? I tell you. Right, Jordan, that's enough for the questions. Otherwise, we'll have to mute you. because you'll be what we call spamming us. And we don't want that, so we have to mute you. So I think you've done very, very well in answers. You've had more than your fair share. We've got people we want to get on here. And Kareem is going to give us a wee call and tell us what's what. Let me see, guys, if I can just sort that camera a wee bit for you. You're a little bit on the squint side. And I want to see if I can make life easier for you. Is that any better? Are you slightly less squint there? Very slightly. We get a good view of Lord Reith. Fantastic. Now, then, get sharing as much as you can. Very, very important. Agnes is knitting a tea cozy for her lover. Ah, is this why you're separating? Because Agnes has got a lover. I tell you, I wonder what he or she has got that you don't have. Because from what I hear, you're quite a guy. I'm going to take this call in case it's Kareem. You're live with Scottie's phone in. Who's that?
Hi, Scottie. It's Kareem. How are we?
Good man, Kareem. Yes. Now, I get the impression you haven't got great news for us.
It's not that what we spoke about last time, Scottie, but it's just been quite an emotional day. I don't know if you've remembered in the times I phoned you in the past that I've always said that I go down to Carlisle at times.
Yes, yes, you have. You mentioned Carlisle, a fine city.
Yes. I took my older dog Valencia down today because she is getting on, and it was very emotional because I know this will be her last journey to Carlisle, and I took her to a lot of the parks, Morton Park and Haitian Park. I went to
Bits. Were you in Bits Park?
I didn't go to Bits Park because the bit where I would have to park wasn't really good.
Gelt Woods? Have you been to Gelt Woods?
No, I didn't. I only went to 3 today because I felt it was too much for her.
Yes, but you know the Gelt Woods, yes?
Yes, I know the Gelt Woods, yes.
And that's where Lord Reith and Lord Clyde's ashes are, in the Gelt. You see?
Wow.
And they will now be out in the Eden. And they will be out in the West Coast.
Yes, I know. Yeah. So it was quite emotional, Scottie, in the sense, and I got lots of pictures because I know this was her last journey there. Didn't walk far at each park, just the entranceway and a little bit in back. So I felt I had to do that because I don't know what will happen after this winter with her. She's still in good form just now, but it was very emotional. It's quite sad.
It is, Kareem, because you invest a lot of emotion in your dogs, and they invest a lot in you. You see, and they're very dependent, and then so are we. We become a bit dog dependent as well. You see, and but she will have enjoyed every second of that today, and what a lovely way to tire an old lady out. Yes. and to take her to such beautiful places. I could live in Carlisle at the drop of a hat.
Yes, so could I, Scottie. The parks, the green, it's just lovely.
It's lovely. And the walks, I mean, Kareem, trust me, you haven't seen a half of it yet. I mean, some of the country runs, the drives around, go out to Wetherall and to Brampton, and out that way. Absolutely lovely. The Wetherall Viaduct,
I've got a confession. I've never driven past. I've never seen the Lake District. Never been.
Well, the Lake District's obviously what your quickest route would be straight down the M6, and then you would turn off and go out towards Cockermouth and all that sort of stuff. Very, very nice. Very, very nice. I mean, sadly, a lot of flooding in the lakes, but quite stunning. Or even a wee run to Ullswater before the season finishes up.
Right, okay, right.
Yes.
Right.
There's a wonderful old hotel. It's changed ownership now, but it was under the same owners since 1948, called Sharrow Bay.
Right.
And it's got a view from its sitting room over Ullswater. Stunning. And you used to have the gentlemen that ran it were very, very well connected in terms of famous people in the world. And everybody knew them. And a lot of famous people used to go and stay. And a very, very, very famous person once said she'd come over from showbiz in New York and asked if she could perhaps extend her stay. And they had to say to her, I'm most terribly sorry, but we're fully booked. You know,
right, Scottie.
Because people just relax, Kareem, you know what I mean? Something like that, they just chill. They come from a busy, busy life, and then they're sitting looking at the tranquility of Lake Ullswater out the front room window, you know?
Yes.
Sorry, I interrupted.
A few weeks back, I was at Aviemore. Aviemore as well, so it was just...
Now, I wish you'd been able to find me. Did you go up to the loch at Rothiemurchus?
I was at Rocky Muckus. I was at Loch Eileen. I was at the reserve beside the McDonald's Hotel. There's a lovely walkway beside.
And you didn't find me the ruined chapel at Rothiemurchus?
That there was a couple of chapels. Was it coloured white? Has it been painted white? Do you know?
I couldn't tell you. It's a ruin, and it's where Lord Reith's ashes are.
Right. Okay.
You know, because he used to go on holiday to Rothiemurchus, and he loved it.
Yeah, it's beautiful neck of the woods. And I'll tell you one thing: the amount of midges that were up there was unbelievable.
The midges know what they're doing. The midges know what they're doing. Have I told you the famous story? My mother was from Midargyle, and there's a place just halfway up the Crinan Canal, well, 3 miles up the Crinan, called Cairnban. And it's got a lovely hotel, and it's beside the canal. And during the Second World War, there was an Italian prisoner of war camp at Cairnban. And 2 young Italians one night thought, we're not that heavily guarded, let's try and escape. So they got themselves out the camp at about 6 o'clock in the evening. Half an hour later, they were back because the midges got them. They couldn't cope with the midges. And a night like tonight on the Crinan Canal, the midges will be just outstandingly good at biting.
Yes.
And my cousin, my late cousin, used to say the Argyll midge has its own, voracious bite.
They do, certainly do. But Scottie, I did promise you, I said no politics tonight.
No politics, no. Now, Kareem, I hope you don't mind, but I just suddenly, all the sort of shenanigans, the only way to describe them, that have been going on recently, and all these people being put into these places, I thought to myself, do you know what? My viewers and listeners are bigger than this.
Yes.
Do you know?
Yeah. I'm having a rest from it just now, to be fair. I'm having a rest because you can only do so much, take so much, and then it kind of consumes.
And as you know, my feeling for Scottish independence is not actually political at all. It's economic.
And that, absolutely.
You know?
Yes. But Scottie, listen, thank you very much for taking my call. But I'm hoping to go to other places where she's been a lot. Yes. As a pup and in middle age and trying to get as much pictures, but you know what the weather's been like. It's been quite hard to get an old dog out when it's been the wind. No, and listen,
Kareem, she's happy if she's with you. So never ever question that. If she's with you, she couldn't be happier.
Absolutely.
You'll be able to tell that from her face. Bless you, my dear man. Lovely to hear you.
God bless. See you later. Thank you for your time.
Ta-ra. That's our Kareem. What a marvellous man and a great call. Always a great call. So there you go. Now then. All right, Scottie, I hope you're well, mate. Dinky-Doo, I say to you. Now, what do we get there? I live in Ottawa, Ontario, in Canada. Wow, Jaina, how lovely to have you with us from Canada and from Ottawa. Now, am I not right in thinking that Ottawa is Canada's capital. Have I got that right? Ottawa. And I'll tell you how I know this, because I was a great fan of John Buchan, the writer, the author of the 39 Steps and Prester John and Hunting Tower. And John Buchan had planned, he was a Scotsman, a Presbyterian, and he planned out his career, but he ended up as the Governor General of Canada. Is that not beautiful? He was the assistant to Lord Milner, Field Marshal Lord Milner in South Africa, and then he moved up as a diplomat. So there you are. Yes, P. Taylor. Yes, I was indeed. So there we go. Jordan says, I'm going now and good night. See you soon. Love to all. Have fun. Good one, Jordan. Absolutely, I say to you. Gordon says, Agnes was arrested in Carlisle for causing a public nuisance. What was she telling you off? There we are. The wonderful Gavin McVicker's given us a thumbs up. We love that. So there we are. S says, Jordan, are you drunk or something? So I tell you, we love it. Good evening, Scottie. Thank you for the book recommendation, says the wonderful Robert Scrimger. Not Scrimger, Scrimger. Isn't that right, Robert? The wonderful Robert Scrimger says, evening, Scottie. Thank you for the book recommendation, The General Danced at Dawn by George MacDonald Fraser. A very joyful, playful read. Yes, indeed. And we have a feeling, I have intel from the Scottish regiments, that it was about a certain Scottish general who it fits like a glove, a man I knew very well. So there you go. I tell you. Right. Jonathan says, what are you doing tomorrow? You be tomorrow. It keeps repeating it. Maybe Jordan has had a refreshment. So there you are. Now, what do we got here? OMG, Dinky-Doo, Doodle Mox. I've been to the F1 exhibition, Scottie. Yes, indeed. It's not even Halloween and people are talking about Satan Claus. Colin, what are you on about? Hello from Cornwall. The wonderful Paul Glover from Cornwall. Paul says, hello, welcome, I say. Lovely to have you with us, Paul. I'm going now. Night. See you all soon. Love you all. Have a funny dreams and sweet. There we are. Thank you very much. I'll have a sweet. I'll have the ice cream, I think. The vanilla, just the vanilla. Today, the police asked me for ID when I asked for directions to Law Village. Well, Ross, quite right. What do you want to go there for? Scottie, if you were asked to be a rector of a university, which uni would you prefer? Well, Charlie, I was very kindly in line. I think it was a paperwork problem, and we didn't actually get to the end. But I was in line for the rector of Stirling University. Obviously, I would love to be the rector of my old alma mater, Glasgow University. But any university that wants Scottie McClue as their rector is a university of immense taste and thoughtfulness. They've seen through everything. And they say, ah. But along with me were Ian Banks, the late Ian Banks, the novelist, Prince Edward, now the Duke of Edinburgh, and HRH, the Duke of Edinburgh, and myself, Scottie McClue, 3 nominations. And I can't remember who actually ended up as their Lord Rector. But marvellous stuff. And I didn't actually know about it until I read it in the papers on a Sunday morning. I was having a cup of tea, and my other half was having a coffee at New Lanark on a Sunday morning, and they had the Sunday papers, and I was flicking through them, and it said that Scottie McClue was being considered for the rector of Stirling University. Isn't that marvellous? And of course, I set up the radio station for Stirling. There we go. Scottie, apart from myself, which other famous numpties have you told of? All of them. All of them. Nobody is above a telling off from McClue if they're getting it wrong. It's for their own good. I tell you that, Numpty Heed. So there you go. One of the things I love, Numpty Heed, I mean, you're a professor, and it's when like-minded people get together. And there was a famous aircraft company were looking for a chief test pilot. And one of them, a knighted member of the board, or yes, or I think they were all knighted, had said, so what have you been doing so far? And he went, oh, it's aircraft, the RAF. And a knighted gentleman at the end of the table that was chairing the board said, what did he say? Said, he says he's been flying aircraft for the RAF. Said, oh, well, any bloody fool can do that, because they were all top pilots. So it's when you get like with like. And I've heard senior academics, they all had several doctorates. And one of them said, well, John says in his book, and this guy goes, John's an idiot. Do you see what I mean? Everything has a relative value, Numpty Heed. So, you know, I've told lots of, Susan says, stop spamming. What time you get back the next day? What we'll do with Jordan is we'll not ban him, because there's no real harm in him, but we'll mute him, because he's doing everybody's head in. We'll put him in timeout for, how long do we put Jordan in timeout for, guys? 30 minutes? Yeah, 30 minutes will do him, making cool his heels. So there we are. Jordan has been timed out for 30 minutes because he was spamming us. Quite right, Susan. That's what happens to people that don't stick to the rules. And nobody knows that better than our old academic friend, Numpty. I tell you. It's wonderful stuff. Now, what do we got here? Right. Hello from Cornwall. DINKY-DOO, Scottie McClue. Follow us as soon as you can, guys. Very important. On the old TikTok. If you're on the YouTube, get subscribing and sharing and telling 10 to tell 10 to tell 10. Pop down to the bottom left. Give us a thumbs up. You'll see a little thumbs up sign. You know, don't worry about we're not monetized on YouTube, so you're not helping me with money or anything like that. But it would be kind if you appreciate the lives and you think, no, I'm going to subscribe to Scottie because he's a top man. You know, that's the kind of thing we're looking for. That's what we want from the universe. Yes, not greed, not money, but just a little bit of civility. Now, do you see my mug tonight? There we are. Yes, I did. Enjoy the little things. Isn't that lovely? That was the motto of a dear friend of mine. That tea is beautiful. You can't beat a cup of Yorkshire tea, I always say. My nephew studied at Glasgow University, says Charlie, and went on to gain his Chartered Accountancy accreditation. We love that, Charlie. Please pass on my regards to him. Michael says, hello and DINKY-DOO to you, Scottie. It looks like Michael's a Scot in America. Hi, mate. Long time no see. Good to be back, says the wonderful Robert McNaughton. So there we go. Scottie, do you think you should replace a tyre if it has a slow puncture? Or can you get away with inflating it regularly or using foam? Just your motoring expertise needed. In an ideal world, Robert, I wouldn't trust a car that has a slow puncture. And the tyre may well have been totally deflated and run on at some point. So it may have a weakness in it. Having said that, what you might find if it's an older car, you might have a leaky rim. So it's not actually the tyre that's at fault, it's the rims. Again, though, they probably need to take the tyre off and skin the rims down, de-rust everything, and then put some slappy-on jollop all over and try it again. Yeah, you get that sometimes with older particularly older, what do you call them, wheels, not the solid steel ones. They're, what wheels do you call alloys? Alloys. They're not solid steel, they're alloys. So there we are. Did you ever have a Vauxhall Lotus Carlton, Scotty? No, but my friend had a 2-litre Carlton injection estate, and it was a flying machine. The only Vauxhall I've had was, now what was the one called? It was a lovely thing. It was actually a company car, and it was brand new, and it was in Westminster blue. So there we go. So what was it called? You had a friend had a Chevette. I had a boss that had a van called the Bedford Beagle, but it was actually a Series 1 Vauxhall Viva, I would have said. No, I'm not a Scot. I'm just giving my regards, Scotty. Michael, to you, giving you regards from the United States. We love that. Follow us, guys, as soon as you possibly can. There we are. Still game or chewing the fat, Scotty? Both, Ali, both highly amusing. Still game, very clever. Was it a Cavalier? It was. It was a Cavalier 2-litre injection in Westminster blue with colour coordinated seating. And that was a flying machine as well. You had to keep your foot off the pedal in central Scotland. Who's this on the telephones? You're live on Scotty's phone in, who's that? Hello? Can you hear us? Hello? You're live on Scotty's phone in? Oh, I don't think they've quite got the how you do it. Poor things. So there we go. Right. Yes, Cavalier Ross, that was the one, the Vauxhall Cavalier. Oh no, I tell a lie, I've had 2 Vauxhalls. I had a previous Cavalier, the one with the hatchback, or did they both have hatchbacks? I don't know, but that was quite a nice one as well. Yes, an early, it was a 70s Cavalier, that one, and then the 2-litre injection was early 90s. It was very swish, I tell you. So they are the Vauxhall Cavalier. And there was a big one, as you say, there was the Carlton, but there was an even bigger one. What was the one that the Polis had? And it was a Vauxhall. Were Vauxhall not also Opel? General Motors, was that right? Opels. You could have an Opel that was effectively a Chevette, I seem to remember. DINKY-DOO, SCOTTIE McCLUE says, Rab, we are the people. Yes, indeed, Rab. Lovely to have you with us. And a big DINKY-DOO. Aviva, yes, there was Aviva. Good piece of kit that is. Yeah, but help me out here. The Polis had a great big one. Senator. Could it be a Senator? Yeah. A Royale, yes, there was a Royale. That was a very strange thing. Now, who did I know had a Royale? And it was all maroon with maroon seats. Opel was the brand in Ireland for Vauxhall, says Charlie. Right. But where are Opel from originally? Is it Norway? I ask you. The VX 490. Yes, I can go back to that. And I had friends had various Victors over the years. There was a Cresta. And Scottish Television used to run a company car with STV1 on the number plate. And the first time I saw STV1, it ended up on top of the range Daimlers. But it was on Daimler Jags, but it was on a Vauxhall Viscount. And we had a top man worked with us called Bill Tennant. And Bill was in the back at Murrayfield of STV1, a lovely dark blue, navy blue Vauxhall Viscount. What about that? I tell you, what about a Vauxhall Wyvern? Is that going back too far? The VX490 was it was a sort of sporty Victor, Vauxhall Victor. There we go. Vauxhall Belmont. Don't know that one. You're live on Scottish Morning, is that? Hello?
Hello, Scotty. Good evening, Dinky-Doo.
Dinky-Doo, who's that?
It's Charlie. I was speaking to you earlier on. I'm watching you right now, and I said earlier on YouTube about you being a rector to a university.
That's right, Charlie. Yes, indeed. Did you know about that then?
Yes.
Ah.
No, I was listening. No.
Well, you didn't know about the Stirling one?
No, because... No, I didn't, because the thing is as well about rectors. Rectors tend to be celebrities, because Annie Lennox from Eurythmics,
yes,
was the rector for Glasgow Caledonia.
Yes, wonderful lady.
And,
yes,
yes, absolutely brilliant singer and great woman. I just thought, how is it that we never saw Scottie McClue as being a rector, and why?
Well, it just takes switched on people. You see what I mean? When people, I have had many delightful surprises. One being the chieftain of the Highland Games, and it's when you get somebody who's very switched on, and they mention the name Scottie McClue, say at their meetings, and I've heard stories that they were racking their brains for the right celebrity. And they had very, very famous people. And then somebody said, what about Scottie McClue? And they went, oh, a name that everybody would recognize.
Yes. And I mean, the other thing as well, see, I mean, I know you mentioned about earlier about Stirling University. Is there a certain role that the rector has within the university in terms of bringing up, good values on this?
Oh, yes. I mean, yes, I think that's vital. I think although there's fun in the Lord Rector position, because you've obviously got the rector and the principal of the university, the serious people, but being the rector of a university, as far as I'm concerned, is a leadership role and an inspirational role. And I think that, you would want young people to do well. I mean, Lord Reith, that started the BBC 102 years ago, he was the rector of Glasgow, and his old sort of bête noire, Malcolm Muggeridge, was the rector of Edinburgh.
That's amazing.
Amazing. And when John Reith was speaking, his speech was very uplifting. He was a great big man. I think he was about 6'7", and he's standing, and he was a Glasgow University man. And what became Strathclyde, he trained at the Royal Technical College, and when he started. I mean, he was a son of the manse, and when he started, he took a little tin of soup at 5 o'clock in the morning. He was an engineer, to go to Coatbridge, to the National Locomotive Works out there, and he did his engineering there. So he knew what it was like to have a tough life. And then he saw an advert for this company. There were only 4 of them to set up the BBC.
That's amazing.
Amazing. And when he spoke, Charlie, he went, "Is it well with you? Is it well with you? Is it well with you, young people of our country?" And when I say our country, I mean Scotland. And the Bute Hall just went berserk.
Yes, that's amazing. I mean, you're a wealth of knowledge, Scotty, and I really like that question, actually, to be fair, because I think celebrities, and of which you are, and is that celebrities, the whole idea, having a celebrity being a rector and being there, like Scottie McClue being a rector, or Annie Lennox, or there was also, I'm sure, Pat Kane from Hue and Cry.
Pat, yes, Pat interviewed me.
Sorry, carry on.
No, I was just going to say, Pat came and interviewed me for The Guardian.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because what Pat loved was just the ordinary touch, just the fact that it used to be called the common touch, but just the fact that I have a philosophy: you should be able to speak to anyone, you know.
Yes.
And
it's a lovely quality, Scottie.
Anyone at all, whether it's a little toddler who's in tears with his mum and his granny, not in tears because of his mum and granny, but with his mum and his granny, or if it's the king himself, do you know what I mean?
Yes, absolutely. It's a lovely quality to be able to speak to anyone on any level.
I just think that's the way we should all be. No, you're never above anything. I was telling somebody just today, I said, the one thing I can absolutely guarantee in my life is that every single day I learn something, you know?
Yes.
And then
yes,
the problem
yes,
is, Charlie, when you learn huge swathes of information, you realize how little you actually know. And that's very humbling.
Absolutely. And you know what, Scottie, what you were talking on YouTube about the old police car, the old Vauxhall, and I mentioned that could it have been the Vauxhall Bellman?
Now, I didn't know the Bell. Well, no, the one I was thinking about was much more modern. It was in the late 70s, 80s. The Senator, which I think was the Vauxhall Senator. And it was something huge. I think it might have been a 3-litre or something like that. And it was great for the police for catching folk, you know. See, Glasgow was very advanced, Charlie. Glasgow police had Mark II Jags in the 50s. As soon as the Mark II came out, they had, or early 60s, whenever they came out, but they had a whole fleet of Mark II Jags. Now, some policemen didn't like them because they were low slung, but my goodness, they were fast. And the ones that the Polish use, you see them in the old movies, a lot of Wolseleys and Rileys, which were badge engineered.
Yeah, I mean, I remember actually, you know, when it was Strathclyde Police, when they were actually on the side of, you know, the livery on the side of the cars, it was they used the Vauxhall Cavalier a lot.
Yes, there were a lot of Cavaliers. Yes, well, certainly this was, I'm sure this was the Senator. And they used to sit, the police station is at Dumbarton, out the boulevard, as you know. And they used to sit there, what we called a jam sandwich, with a big white jag with the orange stripe down the side. And of course, pre-Strathclyde, you had separate police forces. So you originally, when I was wee, I stayed in Greenock, and you had Greenock Police. And then that became Renfrew and Bute Constabulary. And you had the Paisley Constabulary and all that. And then they went in with Renfrew and Bute, and you had Dumbarton Constabulary. And they used to have to ask permission if they were chasing somebody into another patch. So in a lot of ways, it makes sense to centralise the police. Strathclyde was, I think, a brilliant concept, to be quite honest with you.
Yes, I understand. Yeah, I understand. But, you know, others would say that the centralisation of the police force within Scotland has actually caused a lot of problems.
Well, I think it would. I think it would, Charlie, and I'll tell you for why. Because of the way Scotland is set out. So say, for instance, they brought in a rule that an inspector must check notebooks, you know, every 3 hours or something, right? Or whatever, right? See, they brought that in.
Yeah.
And as one old policeman said, he said, how can you check notebooks when you're on another island?
Yes, exactly.
Absolutely, so if you're on duty in the city centre, if you're on duty in the city centre and you wander around, you say, I'll just go around to Buchanan Street, see how the boys are doing, and then I'll go around to Gordon Street. That's one thing. But if you, as we're saying, are in Glasgow and you're there on the island of Barra.
Yes,
you know?
Exactly, absolutely. Yes, exactly. You know, it's a nuisance.
Well, I can remember a policeman in one of our, I think it was Argyle Police, and he got a call on a Sunday lunchtime, and somebody said, "What was that for?" He went, "2 prisoners fighting on call."
It's remarkable, isn't it? It really is.
And you see, Argyle,
anyway,
the police were based at Lochgilpin.
Yeah. This time last week, Scottie, I was in Abergele in Wales.
Oh, wow.
I was at a wedding. Abergele.
You're a great man, Charlie.
Yes, thank you, Scottie. And you are.
You're a great man. Also. And why were you so interested in the rectorship? Were you, do you know, are you an educationist?
No. The thing is, I think it's a good question to ask you because, you know, you're a celebrity and you know, and you know, I'm into celebrities, you know, I'm into, you know, this whole,
yes.
You know, if I read the book, Scott, it's going to be about Elton John or Freddie Mercury and
yes.
stuff like that. It's all about what is a celebrity and what makes them a celebrity, etc. And you know, obviously, I remember you go back to Scott FM and all that kind of thing, you know, and I just thought it was a good question to ask as to why, you know, have you ever been asked to be a rector?
Yes,
or,
yes.
You know, or you know, etc. And I just thought it's a good question because you are up there with celebrities. You're up there with the Annie Lennox, etc., etc. So that's why I asked you the question.
Well, you're very kind. I must tell you, I don't want to keep you, but I must tell you a funny story, or I thought it was quite funny. I was once in a very high-level business meeting, and we were there, and this guy said to the managing director of the other company, he said, "I'm afraid I don't actually know you, so could you maybe give me just a short bio?" And then I said, "Would you like a bio from me as well?" He went, No. Everybody knows you. Everybody knows you.
That's it, Scottie. But thanks very much.
No, great, Charlie.
Continue to do what you do.
Well, bless you. The only reason that somebody asked me once, "Why have you kept this all going? Because you're not making any money out of it." And I said, "No, the reason I keep this going is because I like to know that people are still getting informed, educated, and entertained. And eventually the word will get out there. And then yes, we can all get together, you know."
Absolutely, and you've made your money anyway, Scottie.
Yes, well, we've got by. I've probably lost more than I've made, but no, you know, we've done. Somebody once asked me, they said, "How do you become a millionaire, Scottie?" I said, "Start off with 2 million and buy a radio station."
Exactly. That's it. Well, thank you. Well, Scottie, it was lovely speaking to you.
Lovely talking to you, Charlie. Dinky-Doo. Take great
care,
care, lad. Ta-ra now.
Have a good evening.
Bless you. Bye, Charlie.
Bye-bye.
What a fine fellow. There we are. That's poor Charlie. Now, we've to catch up here, guys. The Vauxhall Belmont, says Charlie. Yes, indeed. Then there was the Nova. Yes, the Nova. All the Vauxhall cars I thought were great. General Motors. It was only 3 miles per hour slower than the Ferrari Testarossa. Oh, wow. Oh, we're busy here tonight. How do we get this? Where are we getting this? Oh, my goodness. What have I done here? I've done something, guys. You're live with Scotty's Phone In. Who's that?
DINKY-DOO, Scotty. How you doing? Tom here.
Tom, how you getting on, lad? Are you okay?
All right, yourself? I haven't heard from you in a while, Scotty.
No. Well, as you know, we had a wee bit of a challenge, you know, the old gist. And I've had to come off my work. And, you know, I could stagger through a program, but staggering through a whole day at work. And I think my body had a word with itself and said, "If you don't stop, I'll stop you."
Yeah.
You know, so I thought I can't. And I mean, I've never had a day off in 50 years, you know.
Nope. Yeah, geez.
Not interested, Tom, because like you, I
I
enjoy what I do.
Yep. That's the
You
way to
know?
keep it, Scotty.
And if you're enjoying what you do, you know, you meet people and they go, oh, God. And you say, are you enjoying what you're doing? Oh, no. I would give up tomorrow if I could. And I think, oh, I don't ever want to be in that situation.
No, well, these characters who say that, Scotty, next thing you know, they're away and they're still not happy, you know?
Absolutely, yeah. Well, they're probably not happy anyway, Tom. Now, listen, you were telling me you're a Belfast man, Northern Ireland, and you were telling me you were over in America, and you're a spark, and you were thinking about maybe taking a job out there. Did you speak to people when you were there?
I did. Well, I'll tell you what happened. I had a good yarn with the cousins, and there was many people, you know, that would be willing to take me on. You know, I have an uncle out there.
Oh, yes.
Who is a spark, you know. So I was thinking, maybe not, maybe a year or two's time. Who knows how long?
Who knows? It doesn't, Tom, it doesn't matter. Just whatever you're thinking at the time, because you're in charge of your life. You know what I mean? And if you want to do something, and it could be great. I had a cousin, he was a carpenter, very, very good carpenter, and he went to Canada, and they've had a lovely family and are having a great time out there. And I always love when I see this cousin on Facebook, because he's a spitting image of my own father.
There you go.
Incredible, you know. And and you see, you've got it right, Tom. You've got the right attitude, and I would almost guarantee your work will be of a very high standard. So, you know, what's not to like? The world is your lobster, or is it oyster?
There you are, Scotty. But here, when I was out there, I saw the family. You know, the family, very nice people out there. You know, and I just thought, you know, like, what stopped me from coming out here? I mean, this is a beautiful part of the world. You know, I've got everything, all the opportunities are there for me. You know, why not?
Why not, Tom? And, you know, just go for it. And then people are looking at you on merit as well. They're not saying, is that not so-and-so's friend and so-and-so's cousin and Jimmy so-and-so's grandson and all the rest of it? You know, they're not doing that. They're saying, we need a spark. And here he comes, you know?
Yeah, so you're right, Scotty. But the cousins out there, you know, they said, like, they'd be willing to keep me for a few days until I get, weeks, whatever, until I get myself set up, you know.
Just till you get on your feet, Tom, you know, that's what it's all about now.
Exactly.
Wonderful. Oh, lovely to hear you. And are you keeping well yourself?
I'm doing the best, Scotty. I'm only back from the States about a week now, and I was there for about 10 days. And oh God, I went down to Gettysburg. I don't know if you know Gettysburg in Pennsylvania.
Well, Gettysburg is where Andrew Carnegie set up the steel, was it not?
Oh, jeez, now you're asking.
Well, was Gettysburg not the home of the Gettysburg Address?
The Gettysburg Address, the Battle of Gettysburg, and you know.
Yeah, you were right there at the front.
Yeah, it was great. We went just for the 2 days, you know, but most of the time I spent in New Jersey, you know.
We love it. Absolutely.
But anyway, how are you getting on yourself?
No, we're great, Tom. We're just pressing on. Very glad to be doing our shows. And I've put up some movies on the YouTube channel, and everybody is loving them. Loving them.
Yeah, I'll say the YouTube channel's doing well.
Yeah, the YouTube channel is doing very well. It's not monetized, though, so I'm not getting anything out of it, apart from the fact I'm loving that people are having a nice time.
Exactly, yep. No, it's doing very well, Scotty. I've noticed over the past while, the numbers are just going up and up, you know.
Well, get there, you know what I mean? You've just got, once the word gets out, these things, everybody will come and join us, because there's nothing else on the media of this caliber.
That's
nothing.
Right. And I was talking to a fella earlier on there, and he said he used to listen to yourself whenever he was over in Scotland for a while, you know.
Brilliant. Nice stuff. There you go. I'll let you go, Tom. I'd lovely to hear you. And DINKY-DOO.
No more, Scotty. Good speaking to you, Scotty.
Lovely to hear you. All the best. And regards to the family, Tom. What a great man. So there you go. Now, what have we got here? The SRI Cavalier. Yes, Alistair. Vauxhall Carlton faster than the Cosworth. Trouble at the beam, Sir John Donnelly. Oh, well. It's only 3 miles per hour slower than the Testarossa. I don't think I would be testing that myself, personally. The Vauxhall Carlton 174377 BHP. Alistair, that is a very powerful motor car. Yes, 377 BHP, I tell you. Alexa, answer the phone. There's an empty heat. Myth has it the Carlton outran the West Midlands police helicopter up the M6. Well, what does a helicopter do flat out? 150 maybe? I don't know. I don't know, I mean, what they do. It's oyster, Scottie Michael. I knew it was oyster. I was just having a wee laugh. The world is your lobster. Quality call is always Scottie. Tom, it's always quality. Were you following the DNC? Now, I don't know what you mean. You've lost me there, John. The DNC. There we go. You've lost McClue. You've outwitted McClue. And that's not acceptable. Lupo, lovely to hear from you, Dinky-Doo. The Battle of what has the most importance to you? I think Culloden. You're live on Scottish phone in. Who's that?
It's David Oakley, Scotty.
David La, how are you?
I'm not bad, but in the past, I know you've not been well. But again, your show was going downhill like last week because the imposters, etc.
Oh, the imposters, yeah, but Davey, listen, what you've got to realise is imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. And these people wish they were you. So that's why you're getting them. So you need to just chill about that. And we dump them anyway.
I'm telling tonight, it's no impossible. It's just normal people tonight, of course.
Yes.
A few idiots. Anyway, but again, it's just like, but again, so like, you spoke to Kareem, and then 1 minute you close the line down, and then you open it back up again.
1 minute, what was that, sorry?
You spoke to Kareem, and then I phoned you back. You closed your phone lines down.
The phone line was down. Ah.
Yeah, you spoke to Kareem, that's right. They were talking about no politics.
And then the phones went down.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's right, we did.
And his wee dog,
the
phone line went down, of course, so then it came back up, of course, etc. But anyway, it's getting better. People's come in, talk about cars, it's exciting. But Scotty, give me one thing, please. Got to stay on longer tonight.
Oh, I'd love to, but I can't. I only get an hour on the TikTok, you see.
Why, my friend, come on.
That's all they do. That's what they've got. The TikTokers.
TikTok and YouTube is different. They are
different. But I'm going to have to say cheerio to our beautiful TikTokers right now because we're run out of time.
Okay, then.
And we're just about to run out of time.
We'll stay on YouTube, then. It's getting better. I'm passionate. Listen to me.
You're a passionate man, Davey.
Aye.
Lovely to hear you. And go on.
I don't see you kittens.
Oh, wow. Brilliant. So you're all right for the kittens. We love it.
It's your own house.
Oh,
it's
good
fine.
stuff, Davey. I'm pleased to hear that. Yes. I didn't want to go prying, you know. Meow, meow. That's absolutely great. And Dinky-Doo to you, Lala.
Right.
Top man. That's your Davey. Now, how are we doing? Guys, we're nearly out of time. US politics, Scotty, they just had a convention. Oh, I've no doubt. The Democratic National Convention. Wow. Davey, try milk and keep him on the phone. Try and milk it and keep him on the phone, says Ross. Ross, you're a naughty boy. What's all this about? I tell you. So there we go. I've moved the camera back a bit if you felt on the YouTube that I wasn't looking right at you all the time. It's just because somebody said we need to get a bit more space around you. God bless Scotty. God bless you, Tom. And lovely to talk to everybody on the YouTube. So thank you so much for watching tonight. It's been an outstanding show, and we will catch up soon. Stick out your tongue and say ta-ta, ta-ta-la, ta-ta. One more big chance. Ta-ta.